Hey book lovelies, welcome back to the Happy Little Book Nook. I am Jen for those of you that are new. Hi guys, it's so nice to see you. Happy 2019. This is the first bookish video that I'm doing this year that doesn't involve authors talking and all that fun stuff. So hopefully you guys like it. It's something that I've been thinking about for quite a while, actually since last year. And I wanted to talk about it because I'm hoping I'm not the only one. And that is hair. So as you can probably see from the title, I wanted to talk about how books have inspired my hair crisis. Or I guess it's a hair crisis. I feel like it's kind of like a existential crisis with my hair, but it isn't. I don't know. So let's get into this topic because it's kind of weird. And if you have ever been inspired to change your hair color, change your hairstyle or anything like that, comment down below if books have ever inspired you to do that or kind of made you feel that way, or Bookstagram or Booktube or anything like that, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to kind of tell you briefly my hair journey, which has been insane, and then kind of get into how books have played a part in that, and Booktube and Bookstagram. And I know it's a really weird topic, so I'm sorry if you guys are like, what is this? But it's just something that is honestly has been very influential to me, and I feel like we don't always talk about how books and Booktube and Bookstagram influence our lives and affect our lives in ways that maybe we don't recognize. So yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about. So when I was 16, this is my natural hair color. I've always had brunette hair. It's brownish red color hair. It's very red usually. So when I was 16, my mum said, hey, I've got this product for you that will lighten your hair, it'll put highlights in it. And I thought that sounded fantastic. I was on my high school's color guard, you know, the thing with the flags, and I was going to be out in the sun a lot, and the way this product worked was you sprayed it on your hair, the sun would naturally lighten your hair or put highlights. That's what I was told. So my mom spritzed it all over my hair. Next day I go to band camp, which was where color guard also learned our stuff, and I'm out in the sun, my hair's in a ponytail, and I get home and my hair, yeah, it's lighter, but it is super patchy. It looks, it looked bad, so bad. I was like, Mom, what happened? So she took me to the lady that did her hair, and the lady was like, so that was bleach. And I'm like, what? The product is very misleading, and it didn't specifically say bleach, and it was very miscommunicated. So basically we bleached my hair without doing it the right way, and it looked terrible. So she's like, I can fix it. Do you want it lighter? I was like, sure, why not? Long story short, I ended up with very blonde hair. I'm going to try to find photos and insert them here. Very, very blonde hair. And over the years from that point, my hair got even blonder. It just got lighter and lighter and lighter. And there were a few times during that period that I thought, maybe I want to go back to my brown hair. So I would try it for a week, and I would feel super depressed because the dark hair just made me depressed and I didn't want it. So she'd redo the blonde, and we just went back and forth, which is not good for your hair. FYI, if you're watching this, do not do this to your hair, anything that I'm telling you, because I have treated my hair so badly that it is honestly a miracle of God that I still have hair. So I did that for many years, and then I read Twilight. So as you know, Bella Swan has brownish red hair, which I said was my original natural color. And I am such a massive Twihard. If you don't know, you can probably see up there all my Twilight books. Yay. So I'm a huge Twihard, massive Twihard. And obviously I was like, well, Bella Swan gets Edward Cullen and she has brown hair, so maybe I need brown hair. This is a totally weird, irrational way of thinking, but somehow this is what happened. So I went out and decided to get brown hair. Part of that was also because at the time my dad had been laid off from work and we didn't have the money that we had before, so we were kind of going with the cheaper route of doing hair, and obviously getting blonde hair was very expensive. So I thought this is the perfect time. I'm gonna go get the box. I'm gonna dye it brown, and I did, and I liked it. It was pretty. So I had brown hair again, and I left it that way for quite a while. And I went and, you know, over time would get like highlights added or different things to it, so it was a little bit more like fancy, but it was still just brown hair. And I tried for a very, very long time to find somebody that could give me Bella Swan hair. So it had like the red and the brown. I'm telling you guys, I'm crazy. So I'm like exposing all my secrets to you right now, so shh. So I had this very weird idea in my head that Bella was epically cool in my opinion, and she got Edward Cullen and she had a very happy life. So why wouldn't I want to be like Bella Swan? And I did relate to Bella a lot, side note, so that was partially that. So then, as I was reading more books like Divergent and Hunger Games, and I'm trying to think of all the books that I've read, all these like really big books like Katniss, who has brown hair, and you've got Triss, who had kind of like a light brown color hair. Oh, my favorite book, the Lux series, where Katie has brown hair. All these characters that had like brownish colored hair, and I kept thinking there's got to be something to it, because these characters keep getting, you know, the loves of their lives and their dreams come true and all this wonderful stuff happens. And again, like I said, completely irrational thinking, but in my mind I kept thinking brown hair must equate happiness and must equate good things, right? So I would go back and forth between brown hair and every other color. So like for a long period of time, I did like all the bright colors just because it was fun. And I was kind of in this weird place in my life where I just wanted to be wild and crazy and live my best life. And a part of it was where I was working, which I'm still working there right now, but you know, at that time a lot of us had like the really bright colored hair because we could do that at my job. And so it was just fun. So I went through like purple, I had all pink hair. Again, I'm gonna try to insert photos. All pink hair, I had black and red. I did 3 colors at one time. I did purple, blue, and teal. I've done royal blue. I've done every possible color. And like I said, I am totally thankful and appreciative that I still have hair. But all of that was just kind of me trying to figure out who I was and who I wanted to be. So that wasn't really book related so much. But once I started really diving into these novels, I started to realize that these characters that I really did love all pretty much had like brown hair. And I thought, I naturally have brown hair and brown hair seems to make them happy, so therefore I should be happy. So I would dye my hair brown. Then came my introduction to the booktube Bookstagram world, and a lot of the people that I follow on Bookstagram have this beautiful coppery red hair. And I found, oh no, so side note, let me get back to that. So they do, and we will talk about that. What started the red hair thing was Clary Frey. Yay! So I also love Shadowhunters. I'm obsessed with the book series. So I read that series, fell in love with Clary, love Clary, will always love Clary, and decided I needed fiery red hair like Clary because that's what you do, because me being me. Obviously I'm super impressionable, so that's a whole other issue to deal with. So I went and got another box dye and I dyed my hair. And the first thing that my mom said when I came to see her, she was like, oh, okay. And then she told my dad, so your daughter has Clary hair. I was like, yay. So yeah, so I dyed my hair red, which was my transition from the brown to the red, because I thought, again, Clary Frey is badass and she's epic and I want to be like that too. So red hair it is. And I love the red hair. I thought it was really pretty. I went through different versions of red hair, like kind of a darker red, a burgundy red, a magenta red. I went through all of them. Then Bookstagram, this is where this comes in. Bookstagram and Booktube, all these beautiful people had copper hair. And I also felt like Clary Frey probably had like copper hair, especially when the TV show came out. They kind of made it coppery. So I thought I needed copper hair too. So I went on this quest to become a copper-haired girl, and I did it by accident, which again, terrible, terrible news for my hair, but I did it and I loved it. I really, really loved the light colored hair. I loved my copper hair. I've had it off and on again for the past like 4 years now, 3-4 years, off and on again. And it's like I fall in love with it, then I realize it's a lot of upkeep, and then I'm like, no, I don't want it anymore, and then I go back and forth. So where the book stuff comes in is partly as I get influenced because I see, like I said, all these beautiful people on Bookstagram and BookTube with this colored hair, and I'm like, they're so beautiful and their lives look so perfect because it's, you know, Pinterest and Bookstagram and BookTube, and like everything looks wonderful and perfect there. And I always think back to Clary, and I'm like, well, she had epic hair. And I read a lot of books about Scotland where they have red hair, so I'm always like, well, the Scottish people have red hair, so I love Scotland, I want red hair. So it kind of goes with that, but at the same time, when I did dye my hair, finally got like the copper color that I wanted, when I actually got there, a lot of really good things were happening in my life at that time. And I was really, really happy, like really, really happy. And I just felt my best, I guess, at that time. So for me, mentally, I always equate that color with like happiness and like just pure joy. So then I go and read another book, and then it's like, oh, this character has brown hair. You know, like Ruby Daly from The Darkest Minds has brown hair. And like I said, Katie Schwartz from the Lux series has brown hair. Even Feyre from A Court of Thorns and Roses has like a brownish colored hair. I'm trying to like go through all these books. There's so many books, take your pick, guys, where these people, these characters have brown hair, and I keep thinking, but maybe I do want to be brown. Like, is it a thing? Like, is it a mental thing that people think people with brown hair are like prettier than people with other colored hair? Is that why so many people are written in with brown hair? So my mind goes to these weird places. And like I said, I am telling you guys like all my weirdest secrets right now. So please just thank you for not judging. So I go through all these weird thoughts. And long story short, I had gotten my hair back this year to copper. And I thought it was beautiful and I loved it. And then I don't know why it just was like, you know what? I'm not really happy. And it kind of hit me that the copper hair didn't make me happy, and any other color wasn't going to make me any happier, because I finally, after all this time, have realized hair color doesn't control whether you're happy or sad. It's just who you are and what you feel best as. So I went back to brown, as you guys can see, my natural color, or as close to it as I can get. And I'm actually very happy. But I had to kind of come to this realization that no matter what's put in these books, no matter how amazing the characters are, no matter how I think people view other people or what people's perspectives are based on hair color or whatever silliness I've got in my head, it's not gonna like make me happy in life per se. It might make me happy for a moment, or I might think it's like a key to happiness, but it really isn't. And at the end of the day, I just need to be true to me. So that's kind of my long moral of the story type thing. But as weird as it is, I always just equated these hair colors with happiness and success and good things and perfect boyfriends and perfect lives and whatever my books have led me to believe. And like I said, clearly I'm very impressionable, and that's something I'll deal with. But I also got to the point where, for me, because certain hair colors made me feel happier, equated certain memories or whatever it was, I would either shy away from them or I would try to do them again. And when I didn't feel those same feelings, I was always disappointed. So then I would change my hair again. But it is going to stay this way, guys. If I change it again, please yell at me and scream at me and be like, what's wrong with you? It's going to stay this way because I've realized this is who I am. I'm happy being this way. Despite all the brown haired characters in books, it honestly has nothing to do with that. And I hope as a writer, as I do write more characters, that I can write different colored haired people in books, because I think it's important. I don't think it's a very good representation of them. And even though that seems like such a small thing, it actually really has played a huge part in why I changed my hair color so much. And like I said, also the psychological part of it, to me, wondering, because there's so many people with brown hair in books, does that mean they're more desirable people? Does that mean they're more popular people? What does that mean? And then also just my own psyche where I was like, it will make me happier if I have this color versus this color, or I look this way versus this way. And at the end of the day, I realized that's not the key to happiness. And finding out who you truly are is the key to happiness. And while I am still very far away from figuring that out, I'm definitely on my way there. So yeah, that's kind of my long weird story, and I am very curious if you guys have ever experienced anything like that, or if you've also kind of had the same thoughts and questions just based on what you see and based on what you read, because it's something that I know has impacted me, and I'm hoping I'm not the only one, guys. So that is my long story about how books and Bookstagram and BookTube have influenced my hair color and why it changes so much, but also why it's going to be staying the same, because I'm sure you guys are thinking I'm like frantic all over the place when you see pictures and you're like, wait, wasn't it this color last week? So this is it, guys. It's going to stay somewhere this color. So yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts, so please comment down below, let me know, because I'm really curious. But until next time, guys, happy reading, happy writing.